Welcome everybody to ARL Tier 2 preseason, where today's race will be around the track of Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. This is the last race before the Tier 2 season starts next week, and hopefully we'll have a blast, and hopefully all the drivers enjoy the new and upcoming season. So the format of today's race preseason sessions will be a short qualifying with a followed up with the 25% race. And it looks like it's cloudy for qualifying, so strategies will be mixed depending on if there's going to be rain during the race or not. As the drivers start to go out on their outlaps, personally I think if it's not raining, I think you should really go for a low downforce setup. Try to maximize your speed in the straights, use as much track limits as you can during the first sector, because last sector is all about how fast you can exit the first and the second sector. So it'll be fun to see how people have shaped their wings and how much downforce they put on the cars. As we watch Wizard go on his first flying lap around the Senna S's, going into the tight right-hander where Sebastian Vettel made his costly mistake to lose the Canadian GP in 2019. So that's a nice 20 seconds for the first sector. Not bad, but some room could be found there. As we go on board, on the back straight, hard and brake, but good exit on the exit. Nice and early on the throttle. Going into the hairpin. Nice rotation, you want to keep it smooth so you can get a good exit on the end. Now you just blast it down the straight. And now gonna turn in, you want to take as much curve and not hit the wall of champions, and he hits the wall of champions. And that's an invalid lap time. Yeah, so that corner is gonna be a hard one to hit. As you look back, ASMD 93 is also on a lap, but he's invalid. I'll tell you. Killer 94J on the medium tires without a fast lap, as Captain Infinity sets a 114 on the mediums. Can Killer 94J possibly top that with his own? Going into the chicane. Ooh, doesn't take as much first curve, but gets a good exit. And what will it be? A 112. That's a good lap time on the mediums. He's the one to watch out for. So is Warrior Huntsman. Pretty fast driver. And let's see what he can... Oh, he's on in bad lap. Let's see. Jack. He's on a lap. Great. Going into the last sector now. Ooh, that's a purple. What tire is he on? He's on soft, so hopefully a 109 for Jack. If it's gonna be a good one. Going down the straight, reaching over 300 kilometers an hour. Can he be able to put it through that last chicane and not hit the wall of champions? That's a good last sector from Jack. This should be a 109. Oh, just close. 110. Still a pretty good first lap from Jack. Not that bad. Let's see, is a 3-line turtle is on a lap? Yes, he is. He's on a flying lap. Shadow Moody is now just starting his lap. Perfect. Now he goes through the first sector, trying to gain as much time, and he goes a bit too slow. I think it's not going to be the best time. Not using as much track as all the other drivers. Not really pushing it. It's a decent rotation through the S's. And onto the back straight, reaching 315 kilometers an hour. Oh, makes a big meal off the first corner. There's some yellow flags ahead, just cars just waiting up, ready to get their flying laps. It's a purple second sector from Shadow Moody. Will he be able to top Jack's lap time? And he has plenty of ERS to use, so that's good for Shadow. Goes into the last chicane. Oh, goes a bit too slow, but that might help him. No, he's gonna be slower than some of the medium runners. But overall, not a bad lap time for the first lap. And let's see. I think everybody's gonna start coming in. Oh, Spiozo on his lap. It's a nice braking using all the curb. Nice rotation through that middle sector. Using his overtake. His hot lap mode, sorry. Going to the first of the S's. Ooh, not taking enough, but looks good. Can he be able to top Jack's lap time off 110? Oh, and he hits the grass. That's gonna let him go wide. Can he get a good run onto the back straight? Third one. And that's a nice braking point. Oh, but he makes a meal of the second corner, and it's just invalid. Yeah, track limits on this game are a bit hard on these last sectors. Wizard is on another lap. He is on a flyer, I believe. Yes, he is. Purple second sector. Looking to beat Jack's time. As he now activates DRS onto the back straight. Reaching over 330 kilometers an hour by the end of the straight. Braking. Oh, and he makes a meal of the second corner chicane. Yeah, that's a place where the drivers want to look out for, because they're gonna lose all their times there and invalidate it. And Warrior is on the mediums on a lap. Let's see who else. Shadow Moody is going in. Oh, Nivi in the Mercedes. Going on a lap. A good rotation. Fastest second sector. Will you be able to outdo Jack as nobody else has done, with invalidating all their times in that last chicane? Brakes at 100-meter board. A nice rotation. Doesn't make too much of a meal on the second corner. Second curbing. Can he get 109? Oh, and it's just 5/10 below Jack. And Warrior Huntsman was on a lap too. Yes, he was. Going down the 100-meter board, braking, hitting the first apex. That's a nice section that he's taken, and bumps him up to P5. Pretty good for considering he's on the mediums. However, I know all these drivers can go faster than all of this. A 3 is still on an invalid lap, as everybody decides to go to the pits and get new tires. Oh, is Niffy on another lap? Yes, he is, I believe. He did go purple through the second sector. Question now is, can he hold it through and not get invalid? He's on 3% ERS. And that's a nice rotation. Can be able to jump jack for P1. And it's just good for second place. Oh, unlucky from Niffy right there. Oh, and Captain Infinity seems to be on another outlap on the mediums. Oh, and it goes a bit wide there. Not what you want to do in the first sector. Not using as much track on the exit. But it's all fine if you can keep it in the second and third sector. He hasn't activated DRS, so I don't believe he's on a lap. Yeah, he is not on a lap. SMT on an outlap. Alien the Turtle is Big Ben on a invalid lap. Who else is going out? Warrior is going into the pits. Killer 94J is also in the pits, and Captain Infinity reaching the end of his lap. Oh, and he's going into the pits. Warrior seems to have invalidated his lap time in the previous Senna S's, so that's unfortunate for him. Question is, can the bottom 5 be able to get a position into the points to start the race, or are they probably not? And as we head on board with Sadistic King B on a flyer lap, purple first sector on the soft tires with 6 minutes left to go. The drivers will need to put their second lap in now and be able to get ready for the last flyer of the qualifying session. As Sadistic King gets a purple second sector and a first sector. This could potentially be P1 for provisional P1 for Sadistic, as he gets a bit of traction brake on the exit of the hairpin. Down the straight, has he compromised? Will he lift off? Oh, no, that's an invalid lap. Ah, he was doing so good, but you gotta keep away from that last chicane. Wizard appears to be on a lap, I believe. Yeah, Wizard is on a lap, and Navy right behind him will be on a lap after this. Gets a good run from the exit, opens up DRS. And he breaks at the 100-meter board. Can he be able to set a final lap time? On end he has, but he's made too much of that last corner. And that only promotes him good to P11, as he probably needs to get out of the way for Killer 94J. So this thing's probably gonna come in. Spy Suzu is on a flyer. There's a bit of debris there for some reason. Breaks at 100-meter board. Oh, just wide. He's not gonna have the best exit from the hairpin. As you go down the straight, once again, best overtaking opportunity is on the straight. And can he be able to set a good lap time here as he gets good rotation through that last chicane? Will he be able to set only good for P11? Killer 94J is going into the pits. Niffy is probably on a lap, seeing his ERS. breaking out the 100-meter board again, and that's a good rotation through that last sector. Can he be able to inch out provisional pole? Yes, he can with a 1 of 10.1, just barely beating Jack to provisional pole. And as we see, Captain Fancy finally on the softs, going for his flying lap on the soft compound tires. As they through the lap now, going into the first of those of those tricky sections where you can get your times invalidated on this track. As he locks up into the Senna S's onto the first so-called back straight. Brakes around 75. Good rotation through that to those Pyro S's. Down into the hairpin as he locks up, but that shouldn't really affect him too much. And as he gets a decently good exit around the last the hairpin, going into the final set of chicanes before passing the wall of champions, will he be able to set a personal best and take provisional pole position? As he has a 109.92, barely inching out between the top 3. That's a pretty tight gap between the first 3 runners. Killer 94J most likely on a lap now. Let's stick with Liverpool fan 2020 as he goes through the first pair of chicanes. And that's a clear corner cut from Liverpool fan. Could have made it more obvious. Ooh, ASMD93 seems to have put a fastest sector for sector 1. Going down into past the back straight into the hairpin over under the bridge as he brakes by the 100-meter board. It's a slow entry but a good exit, and that seems just about nice as he gets a good semi-toe from the Renault in front of Andy Liu. Breaks the 100-meter board. Can he be able to take provisional pole? And he invalidates his lap. However, let's see what time he would have got. Just a 110. Let's see. 1 minute left in the session. Everybody wants to do their final laps right now. Alien D-Turtle on a flyer in the final seconds of the session remaining. As we go down into the Senna S's. It's good rotation, but not enough speed carried through there. A bit of oversteer, that is. And that's a lot of oversteer into the hairpin. Don't think so he'll be good enough for pole, but hopefully he can get just above the top 10. Can he be able to make... Oh, and he's just made a meal out of that last chicane. As Liverpool fan is coming to complete his lap. Oh, and he's nailed that last sector on the DRS. He has a little bit of ERS left, and it's only good for P2. Very close between the top 4 right now. The question is, can any of them break it? As Nivi seems like he won't be doing another lap as he has invalidated his. Jack is also invalidated his lap, so those two pushing really hard on that lap. Skill 94J also. And Antilistic King takes pole from Captain Infinity. What a gap between the top 5. Very close margins. So it'll be good to see what these guys will do in the race. As we're just waiting for a few more to cross the line. Wizard on is the last one on the straight. Can he be able to take pole away from? And he's hit the barrier on the Wall of Champions. anticlimactic way to end the session, with we just waiting for Nivi returning into the pits. That was a good qualifying session from all the guys in Tier 2. Uh, as we see an only 4-second difference between P1 and P15. So, pretty close field between the top 5 also. And let's see what tires they have on. So Killer 94J appears to be on the medium tires starting this race, and so is Warrior Huntsman. Good laps respectively from both of them. And it seems like the rest of the field will be using softs. However, Nivi's softs will be a concern as he has 4 laps on the softs, whereas Sadistic, Captain, and Jack behind him all have 1 lap softs. So strategy will be quite difficult from him. However, all good laps respectively for each other. On this at 10 in 7 wrapping up the top 10. We have root themselves over because they couldn't have gone faster laps sometimes. Number 5 red lights. And it's go, go, go for the Canadian GP as this King gets a good start, taking the lead from Captain as Liverpool fan dives it down the inside of Captain Finity, and Captain Finity races the position back. These people are neck and neck fighting behind. Oh, and Wizard has Alien D Turtle has spun it. Liverpool fan drops 3 positions from slight contact or going wide through that second corner, as there are yellow flags being waved. It seems to be a clean through that first, as ASMD 93 makes a dive down Liverpool. What a nice move from him. These are on the full wet tires, so this is not going to be good for anybody who are using some really low King makes a gap from second place Captain Infinity with a 1.3 second gap, and Jack just 2 seconds, making a move on Nivi for third place. Liverpool fan seems to be dropping positions from the start. However, it's all about reaching to that checkered flag, as Killer 94J and Warrior Huntsman have dropped back positions. And as you saw there, there's supposed to be 1 stop, 2 stop if your tires are bad. However, I expect most drivers to be doing a 1 stop on these wets today, as Big Ben receives a 3-second time penalty. So far, not a good start from the Williams, as they've only Shadow Moody has dropped 2 positions, while Wizard has stayed back in their position, as Navy gets a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners. ASMD right close to the back of him, while Bruce is chasing ASMD down for that 5th place position back. And there's been yellow flags from behind, and that should be Alien D Turtle. He seems to be struggling in this race, probably using the wet setup, probably using a dry setup, and it's not going for him. So I doubt he will win unless a safety car appears. And looking through the grid, Liverpool finally makes the move on ASMD. And can ASMD dive it out the inside? Oh, and there's contact. And Nivi's done in the barrier on the exit. He's lost traction there. That is not good for Nivi's chances of winning this race. He has to hope there's a safety car. If not, he is not coming back for this win. Jack trying to close down that gap between him and second place. And yeah, Nivi's just bottled it on the exit. It's unfortunate that he just crashed right after the pit lane, because he's going to be really slow throughout this lap and going to lose lots of time, as he clearly is missing a lot of his front wing. Spioso moving up into 8th, the most position gained from the start. A pretty good start for Spyzuzo, as he hits the wall and it goes a bit too wide. Does he have wing damage? Does not look like it. Liverpool right now is just trying to make back his positions into 3rd. Will he be able to catch up Jack before the end of the race? As that happens, ASMD is right now catching the Mercedes, as Andy Liu tries to pressure by Zozo into making and he's made a 3-second time penalty. Lots of drivers getting a 3-second time penalty right now, as Liverpool fan makes the fastest lap, 1:24.1 on the lap wet tires. Andy Liu seems to have lost it, maybe diving down the inside, as Warrior Huntsman has, I think, bit it. He has lost lots of time from the 9th and 8th drivers. And Nivi finally in the pits, able to change that front wing. Killer 94J starting, who qualified on the mediums, right now in a respectable P6, and he has 3-second time penalty. Lots of drivers exceeding track limits today. As we see the Sadistic making a gap between himself and Captain Infinity 3. As Irish would say, biblical scenes from Nivi in 1967, as he has to make up all the time back in setting personal bests and fast laps. And Andy Lewis finally made the move on Spyzuzo. However, Spyzuzo comes back and fights him, having the inside line into the last chicane. So slow line, and Andy Lewis gonna give him a bump draft as Warrior Huntsman comes down from the outside. Warrior Huntsman going into turn 1. Too wide. Oh, and Warrior Huntsman has been tapped. Contact was made there. From what it looked like he just got tapped wide. Just lost traction. Yep, he has lost traction. His tires have overheated. So that could be the end of his race, as Wizard comes into the pits to fit a new front wing. The closest battle we have is between still Andy Liu and Spyzuzo. In the back there is Shadow Moody, just trying to get time on these two, as Andy Liu wants to make it work around the outside. It's not gonna, oh, and it's gonna work. Spyzuzo almost killing him in that chicane. And Shadow Moody is now closer to Spyzuzo. Will he be able to make the move for 9th and possibly hunt down Andy Liu for that 8th spot? As Jack is getting ever so slightly closer to 2nd place of Captain 23. I think he can make the move on the straight on the next lap, on this lap, as Liverpool fan fits for I think a new wing, but it does not look like he did, as Sadistic has got a 3-second time penalty. Let's quickly look at how many penalties everybody has. Uh, Lots of warnings and track limit warnings. Let's see how many. Sadistic only has one penalty, and Captain Infinity also has one penalty, so they are gonna be neck and neck. Jack has lost time to Captain Infinity in the first sector, losing a bit of traction as Shadow Moody might make the move on Spizuzo in the few coming seconds of the lap. Jack has overtake mode on. I forgot to switch on, and he does not have any ERS. He used it way too early and got really bad traction from the exit. So, oh, everybody's pitting. Oh, so it seems. Oh, and Captain Finty has a 5-second penalty from speeding in the pit lane. That's gonna hurt him. Oh, and he has to double stack behind his teammate. And that's gonna hurt his race a lot and give the position back to Jack. And that's almost a big flop for Captain Finity, as he loses his oh, and Ace MD has spun it on the second corner. He is on the wrong tire from looking at the drivers all around him. Everybody seems to be on the inters, and some just haven't pitted yet. And Andy Liu has not pitted, by Zuzo has not pitted either, so he's gonna get overtaken by all the intermediate runners who just pitted. Oh yeah, it seems like there's not enough grip for those wet tires to clear, and he's gonna get caught up by Killer 94J. There hasn't been any real big incidents. We still have all the drivers from lap 1 still in this race, with Sadistic and Jack the ones most likely to win, unless Liverpool fan can make a charge all the way back for first place. It seems like Captain Infinity has lost lots of positions from his accident, and Jack is set fastest lap time and is gaining around 2/10 just in that half lap. And that's a 3-second time penalty. Drivers using their using the track limits to their fullest. And Spizuzo still has not pitted. This is interesting from him, as everybody else is on inters, and and it looks like it is drying up. So it's either he's gonna be waiting for those dry tires to come out, or just gonna be in there to and he thinks it's gonna get more wet. So it's anybody's guess right now. Liverpool fan sets the fastest sector 2 in the intermediates. Wizard has retired somehow. He has retired in the pits. I believe he has just given up on the race. The win does not look like a thing for him. So that is unfortunate to have him leave. As we have Liverpool fan just edging out fastest lap over Jack, on a mission to get first place from his mistakes, as Spizuzo finally comes into pit for the intermediates, I believe. Lots of drivers getting penalties today. Not not taking any, not gonna be giving up any chance of time, and it'll all be down to the wire at the end to see who has more penalties. So now we are halfway through this race with Sadistic clearly in the lead of this Grand Prix, with Jack right behind him and Liverpool fan catching up at a mega pace. Jack will have the first opportunity to overtake Sadistic as he uses his overtake down the straight. And there is a battle for 13th. This is all still positions, but it seems like Alien D-Turtle is having issues with his wets, as he doesn't seem to be getting as much grip from the wets as he wants. However, ooh, almost into a spin he goes, manages to save it. Good from him. And Andy Luce seems like he will be making a move on ASMD very soon, as he is almost a second behind him. And Big Ben also catching up to Captain Infinity. 3, as the gap between Liverpool and Captain Infinity increases. Liverpool seems to be dropping back a bit from Jack. However, he does see them in his sights, so he will be rushing down as Jack seems to be a bit too far from Sadistic to make the move on this lap. Big Ben under second now behind Captain Infinity, as Jack gets a 3-second time penalty. That will hurt him if he manages to win the race on track. Big Ben 4 tenths now on Captain Infinity. Will he make the move? Nope, he's too far back. However, he does take a lot of time of Captain Infinity through the first and second corner, as he gets a bad exit from the rain itself. However, he will make the move on this coming lap, I believe, as Jack is now within 4 tenths of Sadistic King on this back straight. He will most likely make the move into the last straight before going on to the main straight. Using his overtake, smart, but it's not really gonna help him, as Sadistic gets a good line and Jack does get a good exit. However, he loses lots of time now with overtake on no DRS, of course, because we're in the wets. Will he make the move? No, he's too far back. However, he is putting Sadistic under pressure. Let's check how many penalties Jack has. He has 1, 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 seconds worth of penalties, for Sadistic only has 3. So right now, Sadistic does not need to worry that he will be, if he gets overtaken by Jack, as long as he can keep a 9-second gap between him. Let's check how much penalties Liverpool fan has. He only has a 3-second time penalty, so he will most likely be promoted into P2 if Jack does not get the move done and pulls a massive gap between him and Sadistic. As Big Ben is trying to edge out this move against Captain Infinity 3, not able to make it, as he is looks like he's a bit struggling a bit in these inters, as Jack out for us and Sadistic going onto that into the hairpin, as Spyzu gets overtaken by Warrior Huntsman. Good for him, he's back into the points. And they run down the second long straight, the longest straight of the circuit. Sadistic is in overtake, and Jack just backs off, not going to go for the move this lap. However, it is bringing Liverpool fan closer to this battle, so he has a chance to gain first place, sorry, as they are increasing the gap to Captain Infinity. Andy Luce seems to be catching up Killer 94J ASMD, as Killer 94J makes a pit stop, supposedly for a new set of inters. Not sure why, but we do only have 5 laps left of this race. Big Ben slowly getting that time back as Andy Liu doesn't get good traction through that first and second corner, promoting him to go on to the Suns. As Shadow Moody is right behind Killer 94J as he exits the pits. Gonna be a close fight between them. And as Jack is now, and he's made the overtake in the hairpin. I've not seen this. Statistic does have the slipstream of Jack. Will he be able to stick it down the inside? Jack seems to be just ahead, and Statistic has to back out of this one. However, he gets a go and he makes contact with Jack. Has that made any difference to his front wing as Liverpool fan is right on their tail? Liverpool fan trying to keep it clean so he can make a good overtake. Seems like these three are going to be battling out till the end for that first place finish. Jack will have to pull as he needs to make at least a 9-second gap to the car behind to be able to win this race. On the 14th lap now, only 4 laps to go, and with Jack's current pace, and Statistic gets another 3-second time penalty, so Jack only has to pull 6 more seconds from the car behind. Superfan wants to get a move on Statistic King made so he can get that P2 or potentially that P1 spot. Going to wait for the moment on that straight. That's a good braking point. Can he get a good exit though out of the hairpin? A bit of slide through that corner on the exit, and it's not going to be possible for him to make that move on that lap as Big Ben edges closer to Captain Infinity 3. In a second now, Liverpool fan very close, almost behind Statistic's gearbox. And as they are right now, and he sends into turn 1, and Statistic never gave him any space there. He did not want him to go there. I think that might go to the stewards as there was no room left. However, he did make a dive bomb, which was a bit risky. So, she also have a look at that. Big Ben wanting to make this move for 4th place and could potentially be promoted into P3 if they keep a nice gap between him and Jack. As J94 Killer pits for the soft tires. The rain has stopped. I repeat, the rain has stopped, so it will be interesting to see what drivers do now as they are really gonna either have to stay out on these inters or softs. They will have to make the call, but I believe the right call is the soft tires, and it's gonna be a dash down to the finish in the last 3 laps. So as long as Liverpool can keep this clean, I believe he has a chance at winning this race. As they seem to be going on for another lap, and believe that it's not the time yet for them soft tires. And Ben makes a meal out of that last corner, luckily not getting a penalty as he's 5/10 just behind Captain Infinity. Liverpool fan is dropping back to Statistic King, almost 2 seconds behind him, as Statistic is trying to make this move work in the closing stages of this race. As we go back, Spy Zuzo on the move to make Killer 94J. It seems like he's just picked the wrong tires and is losing grip. Does not seem like he's made the right strategy call. Oh, and they're taking each other out. And they made contact. Surely he has to pit. Yeah, I believe that was looking at that. I believe that was a bit of Spy Zuzo's fault and a bit of Killer 94J's, as Killer did try to turn in as the softs seem not to be the correct tire, as they seem to be all going slow. And Sadistic, it's right on the gearbox of Jack. Can he make the move into the... Oh, and he gets tapped. And Jack has a 15-second time penalty, so he still has to make that gap work because the fan is right on the gearbox of Sadistic King into the final, into the penultimate lap before the last one. These three are all bunched up together. Big Ben still has an opportunity of getting the podium if Captain Infinity is able to get, if he is able to get that fourth from Captain Infinity. Jack now extends his lead, seeing as the track is getting drier. It is almost the time for softs. However, it seems like there's no point pitting this late, as Sadistic King and Liverpool fan getting close to the gearbox of Sadistic King. Will he be able to make the move down the inside on the next lap? On the final lap, as it seems to be all clearing out. The Sadistic King is right on the gearbox of that Renault, as there's yellow flags in sector 1, and that was Warrior Huntsman who made a spin. And Sadistic just right now trying to go for the move down the inside. Not gonna work as they move on to the final lap of this race right now. Can Liverpool be able to steal this win from Sadistic King and Jack, as he has the least amount of penalties? This is gonna be close, as Jack needs to make a huge gap in this last lap, which I doubt he can do unless they, Sadistic King and Liverpool fan, both bin the ends, as Nivi actually gets the position on Spiozo for a point in this race. And Big Ben seems to have dropped back, losing a bit of his end plate, so meaning he was in a spin. And that is Kilo 94J retired. On the last straight now, overtake on Jack does not have enough to compete with Sadistic's level of overtake. Will he get the move done, and will Liverpool fan be able to try nip that first place away from Sadistic King and Jack, as they both go into that last corner? A bit too hairy for Liverpool fan. He did not have to worry there. Will he be able to... Liverpool fan only gets second because he gets a penalty at the end of that race. Oh, and Big Ben gets disqualified from this session. He's on the line. If Liverpool fan, I think Liverpool fan just made a mistake there on the last corner for getting that penalty. I think he pushed too hard. But that was great racing from that top 3 to give us that amount of excitement. Shadow Moody is the next across the line to get a P7 from 11th on the grid. Warrior Huntsman finishing in the points, and Nivi surprisingly finishing in the points from his disastrous race. So that's really good for him. However, he lost out big, and so did Captain Infinity. So I think those were the main losers of this race, as they cross the line now, and by Suzo finishing the lap. And we're just now waiting for Pietre 206 to finish this race. And as he is on passing the wall of champions, crossing the line now, and that's a good race from the top 3, with Jack not being able to keep it out of the track extended limits, as ASMG 93 gets driver of the day. Close racing between the top 3. If only Liverpool fan didn't keep his nose clean. That was a very close race. As the final standings are Sister King in first, Liverpool Fan in second, Jack FRS in third, Captain Infinity fourth, ASMD 93 in 5th, Andy in 6th, Shadow Moody in 7th, 8th is Warrior Huntsman, 9th is Nivi, 10th is Spy Zuzo, 11th is Alien D Turtle, 12th is Piethead 206 with 2 DNFs and being uh, Wizard and Kill 94J and disqualify from Big Ben. That was a good race between top 3, and this is good looking for the start of the season for Tier 2.